Hi, welcome to week 3. I'll be working on the left page. I like that the background is already done for me and want to complement the adjacent page that Claudette created. I decided to mainly work with digital printed papers. This one was made by Claudette's 2-year-old daughter, Summer. Can you believe it? I just love this, and it's my all-time favorite, and I use it a lot. This one is by Claudette. It's one of 3 papers that she designed for Wanderlust 2020. Plus these items from Claudette's stash, a doily, printed tissue, and a stamp. Elements that she used on her layout. But I think the stamp might have been used on her page because when I opened the book it fell out. She'll have to confirm that for us, but it's all good. And the only other elements I'll be using is a snippet of vintage book paper and a piece of my own stamped deli paper. Next, it's time to audition papers. For this process, I really wanted to challenge myself and stick to these pieces, which isn't always the way I work. Sometimes I deviate and pull from my stash, but I really wanted to challenge myself and stick to what I already have here. And here's a little tip when gluing delicate pieces like a doily. Put the glue on the area of your paper rather than on the item itself, and this way you won't ruin or tear it. I find this a lot easier. It's still sticky, so be careful. And then what you want to do is use wax or parchment paper on top and seal it down with a brayer or a credit card. And that way you get a really tight seal. At this point, I realized that just a little bit of paint would be great for more layers and dimension. And a little goes a long way. What I didn't realize at the time was this also allows the spread to, how do I say this, appear more connected, yet you know they're separate entries. Does that make sense? I guess you can see it at the end. But again, so I'm just smearing it on with my fingers and tapping it randomly on actually both sides of the paper. And of course, one color is not enough. And it made sense to me to add a little bit of that orange yellow. And even though I don't have the exact same color, I'm going close. So again, applying it somewhat randomly or where I think it will make the most impact. So to continue, I want to audition more papers. And as you can see, everything I try so far is just getting lost. So it's a good thing we had this black and white tissue paper because it's just what I need to calm the eye and help the total composition. Then I remembered having this vintage gold metal thread and thought it would be great for interesting texture. So I secure it with a little glue stick as a placeholder, but for something like this, it's best to use gel medium and let it dry. In hindsight, I could have put the stamp directly on the gel medium, but because the thread was actually like thin wire, I felt it was better to play it safe. So I went ahead and added glue to the back of the stamp as well. And next I decided to trim the loops of the thread, pulling gently and kind of spreading things out, making it a little more messy. I like how that turned out, and I was going to add staples, but instead I decided on masking tape. And I like the way this looks, I really do. And it also serves as an anchor, if you will, and a place for your eyes to rest with all the busy patterns. So I need to add a few more collage pieces here, and I'm trying to decide. And as I was going through the process, I realized I hadn't used any of Claudette's papers, which would not be nice. Anyway, so I found this nice chunk of her design paper, and it looks really nice there. Offsets the stamp, breaks up the circles there, the half circles, and now I'm just messing around with the threads, making it more messy. And I'm still going to use Summer's papers, and I just love the blue-gray in that little piece, and it just really stands out against that busy background there, and it also once again coordinates with Claudette's page. We're almost done. I decided to use word clippings by Tim Holtz and found the perfect sentiment. It really complements Claudette's word, collaborate. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the process and that it inspires you to try to work with less for a big impact. Thanks so much, and we'll see you again next week. Take care. Bye.